So welcome to another video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander.
And I'm Grant.
And today is Saturday. We just got home from Gencon 2018. We're in Indianapolis, so that's just half an hour away.
Drive,
that's our local convention. So we went Thursday, Friday, today Saturday, we went for half the day today. And I just wanted to kind of give you a wrap-up, debrief of everything that kind of we did, what we experienced, what you can kind of maybe see at Gen Con, that kind of stuff. So if you've not been to Gen Con, first off,
go.
Get out from underneath the rock.
Go.
You know, it's probably the biggest, most famous convention that there is in the gaming world. It's massive, huge. Tens and tens of thousands of people go. It's amazing. They have an exhibit hall where
the mother of all exhibit halls.
Yeah, so many game companies, publishers,
artists,
designers, yeah, and everything in between. Like if you do live action role playing,
there's
all the
something
stuff's there. All the cosplaying stuff's there as well.
If you want to buy a Utilikilt,
Utilakilts are there.
You can buy a Utilikilt. I don't recommend it, but you can buy one.
I'm gonna wear it myself. But you know, you can buy and sell magic cards, and like everything under the sun in the gaming world, you can find something there.
And there are some war games. Some war games, conflict games, lots of miniatures games where you can fight each other.
Yeah, a lot of it is board game and role-playing game heavy, but companies like Victory Point Games are there, Columbia Games.
We saw Alan Emmerich.
Decision Games are there.
Yep.
And a few other smaller places. A lot of miniature-based companies are there as well. So you go almost for the spectacle of that. Mm-hmm. You could just, and that's frankly what we did. We spent like almost 2.5 days just in the exhibit hall, walking up and down the roads.
Well, that's where we spend a majority of the time. The rest of it, you have to have events that pre-scheduled and...
Yeah, outside of that, there's, the convention sprawls into all the adjoining hotels, buildings, even into Lucas Oil Stadium. Best stadium in the world, by the way.
Yeah, go Colts.
That's full of, I think there's a Pokemon tournament there, they have the True Dungeon there, and they have just so much stuff.
Yeah.
It's sprawled out across the city, and let's sign up for events. You can sit down and do role-playing games, board game contests, tournaments, everything that you can imagine. But that vendor hall is a lot of the reason why people go, is just to see all the stuff all in one place and just kind of geeking out.
Well, and see games, buy games, and you can demo games.
Yes.
They don't have a lot of full plays, but we demoed probably 8 games, 9 games, 10 games.
And that's something we try to do. Try and experience all the new games.
Just to see how they are.
If I've seen something I'm interested in, hey, let's actually play it. So you can play before you buy, which is really nice. So I think some of the games, what are the games we demoed? I think on day 1 we did
Vault of Dragons
from Gale Force 9. That's a Lords of Waterdeep
Dungeons and Dragons.
It's a Waterdeep themed Dungeons and Dragons game. So it's a little bit worker placement, a little bit area control, a little bit resource management,
fighting.
But then there's like this dungeon fighting kind of aspect as well. Had a blast.
Oh, it was a great little
game. That was a cool game.
The problem with it, and this is, I asked the guy, that was demoing it to us, why don't you have that game here?
Yeah,
because I potentially would have purchased it, but now what's going to happen is I'm going to take my money and I'm going to spend it on other war games.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, well, I don't have the $55 to buy that game.
Yeah, it was available for pre-order, but it was like you're not going to get it until November, which is a shame.
But it was fun. That was
a good game.
Obviously not games. We don't play a lot of games like that, but we did enjoy it. It was fun. And that was the first thing we did.
Yeah.
We sat down right there and did it. And I had been attracted to Gale Force 9 because of the hope or the rumor that they would have the Aliens miniatures game, which is a cooperative, aliens, colonial marines versus xenomorph aliens. And they didn't have it, which I was a little disappointed with, but
because that looked awesome. The couple of pictures and press releases looked dope, but they didn't have that. It was a shame.
Well, after that, we demoed Battle of Britain.
From Plastic Soldier Company, and that was at what's that game company called?
Griggling Games was the booth.
Yeah, I think they partnered with
PSC.
They had all of Plastic Soldier Company's board games, so they had the Great War, they had Battle of Britain,
Lincoln,
and they were demoing their Cold War game as well. Yeah. So we sat down, had a demo with the Battle of Britain. That looks awesome. I want to get that, though.
It's a mix of miniatures, bucket of dice, and conflict with some cards. I don't know what there isn't to like about that game. It looks good on the table.
It does.
We had a blast just playing those couple little rounds, and it looks fun. So custom dice with iron crosses and rondelles for the British. It was just really cool.
Yeah, I had a blast. And if you put an RAF or a Battle of Britain game in front of me, I'm going to play it. But that one was fun because it was, not on the super heavy, crunchy scale. The Germans plan their raids, but that's hidden. But it's really simple, which I enjoyed. You push them around, you chuck the dice, and you go. The game progresses quickly.
And I think it's based off an older game, a previous Battle of Britain game, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But that was one I enjoyed quite a bit, demoing. We also, that same day, demoed Critical Mass from Arcane Wonders. We didn't buy it. Our brother-in-law bought it, which is cool because this is a fun... Basically what it is it's mechs fighting against mechs in one-on-one combat, or you can play up to 4 players.
Yeah, so this is the game, and it comes with 2 players. Yeah. There's 2 different mechs in here, you fight each other. There is a second set that has 2 other mechs, and that way you can play 4 people and just
fight each other.
Fighting.
But it's a card-based game where you have to develop your cards, you have to trade those cards out for better, improved cards. They're damage-dealing cards, they're evasion cards. But it was fun.
This is Mech Warrior without all of the moving around and the miniatures board. You're playing, you're just shooting, evading, shields, special powers, shoot.
And it's 1v1, whoever...
But you still get the cool... The bit I like about Mech Warrior type stuff is the micromanaging of the damage. Yeah. Oh, this system goes down, it affects my hand. And so
I lose a card.
This thing goes down here. Oh, one of my abilities goes away. Yeah. So you still get that cool bit. That's what I actually like from Mech Warrior. Is the detail of the damage.
But that was a fun game. It was one that I had seen, and I thought, we're going to give that a try because it's a little bit Ameritrashy, a little cool mechanisms,
and we had quick as well. It's quick.
We played the game in about 30 minutes, and
you got a lot of little sub layers of strategy, of bluffing, because it's put your card down hidden. Yeah, there's some neat stuff to that.
Yeah,
we also did tripods and triplanes.
Oh, that was fun. Go ahead and talk about that. That was fun.
It's a Wings of War. It's that system.
Wings of Glory.
Is that what it is?
Wings of Glory, which is World War I aerial fighting from Ares games.
Yeah, and which is
based on that system.
Yeah, so it's based on that system, except one side is like War of the Worlds, huge tripod aliens.
And it was awesome. Those minis were awesome.
And what I really liked is, before it was, I've got 2 different planes, and they're flying against each other. They're a little bit different in how they fly, the pilots. The tripods were so different in how they moved. It was very sluggish. They could move, and if they wanted to shoot, they could not move.
And shoot.
So you'd be like, I'm trying to turn, really slowly move, and then line up a shot, bang. And they've got a really, really small, what do you call that?
Field of fire.
Field of fire, yeah. It's really short.
And they had 2 different weapon systems. One short range lasers, one longer range.
And they can do some other cool abilities. And so it's...
like shoot out gas.
It's hard to kind of catch the biplanes, but when you do, you can kind of blast
And it's programmed movement, so everybody selects their 3 activations that you're going to do, and you're going to move in a straight line.
Fly.
Yeah, fly right, fly left. Very fun. The funny thing about it was I was the German Albatross, and you hit me, I think, 3 times. One time did 10 damage, one time 8, and the other one was like 2 previously, and then I blew up. But it's random dice dealing, but there's some fun there.
Yeah, I had a blast playing. I like those type of games.
Yeah.
It was a quick and fun demo as well, so that was neat.
The highlight of that first day, though, was our meeting with Harold Buchanan.
Yes.
Thursday, late afternoon, I think about 5.
And we sat down and did an interview with him about his new game that's on P500 from GMT. It's Flashpoint South China Sea. We sat down and played a full game, and the game itself was really cool. Yeah. It's half an hour, start to finish, lunchtime game, and he's worked very hard to make it that. He went through a lot of different iterations, and we'll post an interview with him that we sat down and did about that after we played it. That was a really fun game as well. I had a blast playing that.
And as we've said often, very approachable person, very nice guy.
Yeah.
Harold's a good guy. He signed my Liberty or Death rule book, which was, I think he liked that, but I'm stoked that I got it.
And that was his first Gen Con, and he was telling us how much fun he was having. That was really cool.
Yeah. It's cool to see people having fun and enjoying gaming. It kind of is energizing. And I know one thing I would say, a lot of people talk about, it's a lot of people.
Gen Con's very
And
big.
you are being thronged, you're being bumped, you're being... But I think the reality of it is everybody's having fun because you're kind of walking around looking at everything, and it's also... It's like Christmas morning.
Yeah,
and
everyone's like wide-eyed and like,
yeah.
oh, this is such a
So
cool thing.
if you struggle with people, I wouldn't let that discourage you. I think it's one of those things that you can literally walk around, not interact with almost anyone, and still have a really, really good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, meeting with Harold was awesome. On Friday, we demoed only a couple of games. I can't even remember.
We demoed Solomon Kane from Mythic.
We were disappointed by that.
Yeah, that was...
Because it was a cooperative, miniatures-based game based on the stories Solomon Kane, written by Robert Jordan, same writer as Conan.
Yeah, that thing made like over $1 million on Kickstarter.
1.7, I think.
And it was interesting playing it because it was just okay.
Yeah.
That was, that was...
I'm not saying it was a terrible game, it's just not...
But after we played that, I did not have an impetus to play the game.
No.
And that, that's just not fun.
But I'm glad we experienced it.
Yeah.
Mythic has done some good games in the past. Joan of Arc, we really enjoyed last year.
Yeah.
Skirmish-based, 15 millimeter,
yes,
right?
15 millimeter.
Miniatures game. So that was fun with some narrative. What other game? We played one more game on Friday. Samurai... Starship Samurai from Plaid Hat Games.
That was a blast.
I tell you what, I had a really good time with that one. I mean, big giant robots in space.
Yeah, area control that gives you, influence and points, things like that. And it's simple and quick, but there's a lot that you can do to manipulate bits and pieces as well.
Clever card playing to take advantage or destroy certain, and then in the end, the area control element, battling over that area so you get certain benefits.
Yeah, it gives you victory points with honor, that kind of stuff. That was
very
fun.
Yeah, we did a demo. I think we played two turns, 2 rounds.
Yeah, we played a good amount.
And I would have bought that game, but we had already kind of
blown
spent a lot of. But that was a good one.
We also looked at. What was a Robotech game?
Oh, yeah.
Was it Defensive SDF 1 or something
like
that?
Something like that. Was a neat looking cooperative game.
Like a full co-op. Because we played a good amount and demoed a good amount for Robotech games over the years.
And they always kind of come up a little lacking.
Like a little small card game or bits and pieces like that. But that one, it's like full co-op. It reminds me of things like Battlestar Galactica, where it's moving around areas, triggering effects to kill the waves of... Zendrati that are coming at you.
But that was really cool.
That one looks cool.
That was a neat looking game. It's coming out, I think, in November. I want to say they said.
Yeah, I think they said November.
But it was neat looking. The other thing that I enjoyed about Friday, we met with Joel and Gary.
Yes.
From Playdek. If you don't know, Playdek does online games, apps.
Yeah,
They've developed many apps. Twilight Struggle with GMT a couple of years ago.
They did the Ascension app. They did lots of Waterdeep as well.
And they just announced, a month ago, a new partnership with GMT Games where they are going to release Labyrinth: The War on Terror. That's supposed to be...
They said next year.
Next year, and then they're going to do the Coin series of games. We did an interview with them. It was a standing interview, about 10 minutes.
Well, post that, I might have to play around with the sound effects with very loud, so we'll see. It might take me a while to type up subtitles on that.
Yeah. But thanks guys for meeting with us. That to me is very, very exciting. Many of us, we love those games. Sometimes solitaire, they're more difficult to play.
Yeah, or the solitaire not as good as an opponent.
But this is an AI opponent.
Computerized AI is going to be better than just a flowchart.
And I know I've played Twilight Struggle probably 100 times on my app, my iPad.
Well, on that one you can't play solo, right? At least Labyrinth has a solo bot.
Oh no, Twilight Struggle you can play solo.
What I mean is the board game you can't.
Oh yeah, you can.
So
there is no bot for that.
It's a really good thing, I think.
Yeah,
for people who are just on their own, or if you're traveling. I could play Labyrinth
whip
on
that
my
out
phone now.
probably in an hour.
I think that's brilliant. I think it's a great move.
Yeah. So we talked to them a little bit about what goes into developing, marketing, creating, and then releasing those games. Talked about GMT's relationship with them. That was interesting, and we appreciated that. We also on Friday, who else did we? Well, we saw Travis. That was today.
And today we saw Travis.
Travis Hill from Low Player Count,
yeah.
Right? Great guy. Nice to talk to him. We talked to Mo Fitzgerald a couple of weekends ago, and they're kind of friends. They play together, live in the same area. That was nice to see him and meet him. We saw Rob.
Was that also his first Gen Con as well?
I think that's what he said.
And he was also just geeking.
He was excited, yeah. So he was a cool guy. Thanks for meeting with us, Travis. We also stopped Rob Oren near the end of the day and talked to him a little bit. He was having a workout as he had 2 huge bags of games.
Ungodly amount of games.
He was walking to UPS to ship those home, but he took the time to stop and talk to us. And the big highlight, though, is tell them about your purchase.
So I got...
There's a second-hand game provider called Games Plus.
This is not from Games Plus.
Oh, that wasn't?
This is from Cool Stuff Inc.
Oh, yeah.
They have like ding and dent shelves. So for $25, I got Reluctant Enemies from MMP, and this is their OCS series. And normally the OCS games are like ungodly monster games that no one's ever actually going to play, or they do and it takes them 3 months to do it, and they've got the game set up forever. So this is an introductory OCS game. This is to learn the system. It's a one mapper, one counter sheet,
counters,
and it's a pretty obscure kind of campaign. This was the Commonwealth invasion of Lebanon and Syria that were occupied by Vichy France at the time, 1941. So I'm excited to play this to learn what is a very complex
and deep system.
It's a one mapper and there's 60 rules.
60
pages of rules. So, but learning the system, is this something I want to get into? Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty happy. At $25.
Yeah, you can't beat
that's a great price.
And that was Cool Stuff Inc.
Yes.
And I regret now not buying D-Day at Omaha Beach.
Yeah, they had
$38 mounted map.
Yeah.
I just bought D-Day at Iwo Jima 2 months ago, and I'm playing it right now. It was $90.
Yeah.
It was mounted map. I overpaid. I understand that because it was brand new, but I regret that now. Thanks for letting me walk away and not getting that. I really appreciate that, Alexander. Jeez. But I actually found 2 really good deals on good games, classic games. The classic Victory in the Pacific, 1977, I want to say, or 1974.
Old.
Avalon Hill, old game. Really good shape. It's punched and sorted. But I'm very excited. And in fact, on Friday, I sent out a tweet and I said, hey, which of these 2 should I get? Either Vietnam 1965, 1975 from Victory Games or Victory in the Pacific. I think more people responded for Vietnam.
More people did. So I checked. And
you checked.
A lot of people were like, Vietnam.
But everybody was saying both are great. Victory in the Pacific is really good. It's a little more introductory, they said.
A little shorter.
A little shorter.
Apparently this one takes an age.
But yeah, this one cost me $40. Victory in the Pacific, pretty excited about that.
Because you bought Vietnam that day.
I bought Vietnam first.
Today, you got this one.
And one of the reasons I brought Vietnam was Space Rumsfeld with Wild Weasel podcast. This is one of his favorite games, if not his favorite game. I know he also likes Dien Bien Phu. This is unpunched, and if you can see it, it is an excellent shape.
The only thing that I can see that's wrong with it is that there's some watermarks on the side.
Right. Yeah, it looks like there's some water splashed.
But that's it. It's
right.
Unpunched in perfect condition.
Unpunched, beautiful, big game. We'll see. I don't know.
It's got a bunch of hidden movement stuff for the Viet Cong, so I'll play it with you. And
supposedly this takes an age to play and learn. It's very deep and complex, but we'll slog through it. I know the other thing I wanted to talk about on, was it Friday? We went to Fallen Dominion Studios. So if you don't know, we did a video review of Fallen Land, a post-apocalyptic board game a couple weeks ago. It's an Ameritrash dice fest.
Great story and narrative.
Narrative-driven game on a near future post-apocalyptic America. We met John Longren, one of the co-designers. Salt of the earth, great guy, very welcoming, very appreciative of our thoughts and comments on the game. and I went ahead and purchased their newest expansion, which is actually an accumulation from the
Kickstarter.
From the Kickstarter. It's all the different pieces and cards that were included in that from a couple of years ago. It's called Outriders Trading Post, but I'm excited. It's just about 50 new cards, 60 new cards, some new missions. So I was $10. I thought that was a pretty good deal. We liked that game. I want to introduce that game to our larger group and go from there. One other comment I wanted to say about Gen Con in general: if you like to eat, there's a lot of food around.
Just a ton of food.
We eat at the what's that called?
The Circle Center Mall that's attached to everything.
We eat there in the food court.
Yeah, so you can eat on the cheap, like it's Chick-fil-A, there's an A&W, there's a Subway.
There's an Asian food place.
Yeah, like the Asian...
Caribbean bar, not Caribbean, Thai place, pizza place. But there's a lot of food options. If you want to have a good time, you can come to Gen Con for 4 or 5 days and really have a good time.
Yeah, they deck out, there's like a pedestrian zone next to the convention center lined with food trucks. And it's super busy, but you get great local foods, everything you can imagine under the sun.
Yeah.
And then, on the other hand, there's some pretty nice steakhouses that you can make reservations at.
Shula's, St. Elmo's,
do whatever you want at
Weber
Gen Con.
Grill.
However much your budget is, you can make it work.
Yeah. So Gen Con is a great experience. I know we were talking about this, I think we've been 6 out of the last 7 years, I think we had said.
I think that's what I've done, yeah.
And then I've been like 7 out of 9, and then I went a long time ago with my father-in-law. But we enjoy it every year. We look forward to it. It's a good time. We're exhausted, just like we are every year. Our feet hurt. But man, it's a good time. It's worth the time, the investment, and the money if you can definitely get to it. And once again, for our war game crowd, there are war games there. Columbia Games is there. Decision Games. We already talked about
Academy Games.
Academy Games. We talked to Uva again. They're making some changes. Victory Point Games was there. We saw Alan Emmerich.
What did Uva say about Storms of Steel?
I'm not even going to repeat it because I don't believe it. He said it's going to be out soon.
He said it's coming soon.
Yeah,
like really soon.
I don't know. Like really soon?
He said it was at the printers.
Yeah, that's what he said. So Storms of Steel in the Conflict of Heroes system, if you have been looking forward to that for how many, 3 or 4 years?
Close to 5.
Yeah. It's supposedly at the printers maybe in the next 60 days.
They made a lot of changes, did a lot of cool stuff with it.
And they're working on a new rule system, an updated...
That's why it's taken them so long.
3rd edition rule system.
They're going to stick that in there, but also keep the old rules and make it backwards compatible.
Right.
That's why it's taken a lot of work.
Yeah.
But he showed me how the new system works, and there's only some subtle changes, but
it seems neat.
It looks really good.
The changes seem neat.
And it changes the game and how it's played, gives you even more like tension and decision making, which is very good.
So yeah, we had a great time. I had a great time personally. We went with our brother-in-law Brum. We had a good time. We played games a couple of nights when we got back. Had a good time. So
yeah, I have a blast at Gen Con every year. Every year I'm utterly exhausted. Mm-hmm. This year I'm doubly exhausted because last weekend we were at WBC, so it's been 2 in a row, and I'm like, I just want to sleep, man.
I don't know that I've had a lot of sleep in the last 2 weeks.
But it's been like a wild 2 weeks of gaming for us. Yeah. And now I've got stacks of games that I don't know what to do with. We got to play. Never buying a game ever again.
Yeah. And I will be honest, we were kind of talking the other day. I don't know that we're going to play any games for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, my brain's like...
So we might take a break. We actually have a lot of videos to post.
Yeah, there won't be a break in the content.
But we're not going to do any new stuff.
Because I've got a bunch of backlog stuff we're going to put out.
And we did a video on Chariot Race. Chariots of Rome the other night.
It's a great game.
Anyway, appreciate it. I had a great time.
Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. That was kind of our debrief of Gen Con 2018. I've been Alexander from theplayers8.com.
And I've been Grant.